Okay guys, so we're going to be creating the tank scene now with the Factor.io. We're not doing any programming, we're just simply creating the scene in the Factor.io environment. So this is ultimately what we're going to have, and if we want to zoom in on this control box here, let's move forward to the next slide here. We're going to have an e-stop, a digital display, an auto manual, a start and a stop push button, a reset button, a fill and a drain, and then we're going to have 5 indicator lights on the bottom, but these are actually going to be push buttons in that. I thought it was the simulation. I'm so used to pressing those buttons. These are going to be push buttons in that when we press them, they're going to actuate each of the different levels in the tank as well. Okay, so by the time we're done, we should have everything, all of these components and all of this labeling done on each of our push buttons here. So let's go into the Factor.io environment and I'll show you how to set this up. So let me drop out of this PowerPoint here. There we go. So when you open up the Factor.io, you're going to be seeing this main screen here. So we're going to open up a new environment. That gives us a nice shop floor here that's nice and clean. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here and we're going to find that tank. There we go. So this guy right here. And again, I've said this a million times, but when you're hovering over each of your independent pieces here, you'll see the name right down here. So this is our tank. We're going to grab this guy and bring it over onto our shop floor. Okay, now that that's there, we're now going to grab an electrical box. So right here is our electrical box. Let me just zoom out a touch. So we're going to grab this guy. So I'm left clicking, holding down the left mouse button and dragging it onto the screen here. Okay, trying to get it as close as I can. And now it's sitting on the floor, so I'm going to hit V for vertical and lift it up to an appropriate height. Okay, that looks good. Let's double click on our tank and zoom in. And we can see that, not that it really matters, but we can see that it's back just a touch. So I'm going to select this guy. It's going to change from an arrow to a hand now. Now I know that I'm grabbing it, and I'm just going to push it back onto that pillar there. Okay, it looks good. Let's take a look from the front. Gorgeous. Okay, that's good. Nice height. Maybe we'll lift it up just a touch. So I'm going to grab this guy one more time, hit V, and lift it up just a touch. Nice. Okay, looks nicely centered. Beautiful. Okay, first thing we're going to need is we're going to need our e-stop. So let's grab the e-stop here. Okay, so I'm grabbing the emergency stop here. I'm bringing it over. For some reason, it brings it right to the back here. So see how it's like at the back of the shop there? So let's hit edit and undo. I find that I have to actually zoom out a touch. And now let's try it. Come on, buddy. There we go. Now I can actually bring it in. It's quite high, so I'm going to hit the V, drop her down, and we'll push it onto our box there. Okay, I can still see there's a bit of a shadow. So now I'm past, and that should be, well, a little bit of a shadow, but once we get the switches closer, then we'll be able to push them in and reconfigure everything. Okay, the other thing we're going to put in is a digital display. So let's grab the digital display. Again, bring it over, get it as close as we can to our box here. Beauty. And then on the side of that, what did we have there? Let's bring up our photo here. Okay, so beside that we have the auto manual, and then we have the stop, the start, and the reset. Okay, so we need an auto manual now. So that's this guy right here. So it's called the selector switch. I'm going to bring this guy over, put it right beside our display. Okay, then we have our start, our stop, where I've got bad memory here. Stop first, then start. Okay, so stop first. Okay, it's a little bit too high, so I'm going, oh, actually it looks all right. Okay, I got the stop, then I got the start. Okay, and then my reset should be right beside, yeah, reset button. Beautiful. Okay, then I have 5 indicator lights, but I'm going to make use of this reset button. It would be great if I had another push button that was a different color, like a blue or something like that, but it looks like we have the red for the stop, with the green for the start, and then yellow for the reset. So I'm going to make use of this guy. I'm just going to rename all of them. So we're going to grab this guy and bring it over. Let's drop her down just a touch and push it in. Okay, looks good. Now let's zoom in here and see what's going on. Okay, so from afar, it looks like everything's sitting right on the control panel, but everything's farther out. Let's see the spacing that I had here. So it looks like I had the first rung empty. Then these guys are going to go into the second rung here. Okay, so let's do that. So let's push these guys back first. Okay, so there's the first one. Then my digital display. There we go. Then my selector switch. Excellent. Okay, then I've got my stop here. A little bit frustrating in that sometimes you just can't grab it. Let's try it here. I'm waiting till this turns into a hand, but it's not working for me. Okay, let's see if we can zoom out a bit and then do this guy. Come on. There we go. Okay, so that guy's going in, and I can still see a touch of a shadow. You can see that I'm higher up, so I've got to come here and drop that guy in. Looks good. Okay, then I've got my start. That guy's going over, and it looks like it's got to drop down a touch and push back in against the control panel. Okay, then I've got my reset, and I'm waiting for holding down my left mouse button until I see a hand. Come on. Oh, I saw it. It was ready. Again, it may depend on your computer. I have my screen capture going on at the same time, so possibly that's screwing things up and making a little bit of a lag there. Okay, looks good, beautiful. Okay, and we have each of these indicator lights, so they are going to go below. And let's take a look. So I had, oh, and I forgot my fill and my drain. Okay, so I need 2 here, and then I need 5 on the bottom there. Okay, so let's grab this bad boy. Let's bring it into our box now. Man, that's frustrating. There we go. Okay. Just a touch more. I can see a bit of a shadow there. So I can see now that it's right beside that push button. I'm going to drop it down and move it over. Beautiful. Now let's see if we can zoom in and make some copies here. So can I duplicate this guy? I'm afraid if I duplicate it, it's going to create another. Let's try it. Let's go here and then duplicate, right? It should give me another address and everything. Okay, beautiful. Nice. That actually worked out better than I thought. Okay, let's duplicate that guy again. And now we're going to drop that guy in there. Okay, let's duplicate this again. So we need 5 of these bad boys. Okay, let's grab this guy, bring it in here, and drop her down a touch. Good. Oh, come on, we had it, buddy, we had it. There we go. Okay, next guy. We're going to move this guy over a touch. Okay, drop her down and push her in. Nice. Next one, holding down the left mouse button, moving it over, hitting V to drop her down, push her into the box. Beauty. There we go. Move it over. Hello. Okay. Hit V to drop her down. Push her into the box. Nice. And then let's duplicate this guy one last time. And let's hit V one more time to drop her down. You can see there's a bit of a shadow. So there we go. Beauty. Okay. So everything is gorgeous. Okay, and that has taken me 9 minutes now, just from start to finish now, just because it's had some issues dropping it in there. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to relabel these guys. So I'm going to keep my emergency stop the same, digital display the same. The selector switch state 1 and 0 I need to change, and I'm going to change just get rid of the 1 on each of those guys. The way to do that, you would think that would be over here on drivers. So now that I've created all of those guys, they're all set up here on my drivers. Now, if they're not there, then you need to select this drop-down menu, select the PLC that you're working with. I'm working with the Siemens S7 1200. And once you do that, then everything should come in. Okay, so all of my inputs are here. all my sensors they call, and all my outputs or my actuators are over here. Okay, you would think that in this portion for the driver, I'd be able to double click or right click and be able to change the name here. I'm not. The way that to change each of these names, because I have reset button 1 through 8, right? Let's go here. We're going to go to view, sorry. We're going to dock all the tags. And in docking all the tags, now we can change the names here. So I'm going to double left click on this guy, which will allow me to change the name. I'm just going to eliminate the 0 there, and I have to hit enter in order for that to work. You can see that the 1 just disappeared here. Okay, the emergency stop here, I'm now going to double left click. Okay, I'm going to backspace here and hit enter. Okay, next one, my reset push button. So you want to put these guys in sequential order. So this guy, then this guy, then this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. That way when you change your tag names, then you'll know exactly which one you're doing because it'll follow the sequential order that you put it in. So that was my reset push button. So I'm going to hit enter. That took away the 1 there. The next one for my next reset button 2, which is this guy right here, that guy is going to be my fill push button. Okay, the next one beside it, now see how I just clicked down here? I have to actually hit enter and then it will change. Okay, the next one here, reset button 3, I want that guy to be my drain. So I'm double left clicking and typing in drain, hitting enter, and you can see that that changed. Okay, and then these are all going to be my different percentages here. So I'm going to do reset push button number 4, double left clicking, putting 0 space %, enter. And I'm just following through on each of these guys. So double left clicking, selecting everything. This guy is going to be 25%. Enter. Okay. If it's not coming through or you're not seeing those values change on the Lamicoid above the push button, you forgot to press enter. Okay. Double left clicking here. Okay. Next guy is going to be 75. Enter. And this final reset push button is now going to be 100%. Beauty. Okay, let's deal with these guys now. So my first reset button was my actual reset. So I'm now going to just eliminate that 1 there. Okay, so that's my reset button indicator light. The next one that I used was this guy right here. So that's going to be my fill. So I'm going to eliminate this. Okay, so I'm just writing in fill, and that's my fill indicator light. Next one is my drain indicator light. Okay, trying to grab as much as I can, delete that guy. Beauty. Okay, now these are not coming up here, but I'll show you later on. Once I put the actuator tags, you'll be able to see this. Okay, next one here is 0% light. Okay, next one is 25. Now, for some reason, see how that just kicked out? That's really annoying, but let's redo this guy. Okay, it's possible that I jumped to the next one without hitting enter. Okay, next one is 25% light. Okay. Now, do I have... Yeah, reset, then fill, then drain, 0, 25. Okay, this guy should be 50%. I was getting nervous that I forgot one. Okay, this guy here is going to be my indicator light for 75%. And finally, my last reset push button right here is going to be for 100%. Beautiful. Okay, so that takes care of everything so far, right? Looks good. Okay. My next one, my selector switch. Really? As my kids would say, really? Really? 50% and 75% here. Okay, work with me. This guy, for my selector switch, I want the top portion, if we go back to my PowerPoint here, I want the top to be auto, and I want the bottom to be labeled manual. Okay, so we're going to take this guy, we're going to just delete everything. Okay. When you select, in this case, auto now, then then it's going to be like a normally open contact, and when you select the auto, it's going to change to a closed contact. Okay, next one, the other portion of my selector switch is going to be a manual mode. Okay, now see, I've got to be careful, so I messed up here. So the bottom I want manual, and the top I want auto. So these guys are backwards. Okay, so this is actually going to be labeled manual. And this guy is going to be auto. Sweet. Okay, so that matches with what I had over here. Auto on the top and manual on the bottom. Okay, next thing we got stop, start, and reset, which I think we already have. Fill and drain. Let's see if we have those guys yet. So it is my start button. Okay, then just eliminate that one there. That is the indicator light for my start button. Then I have my stop button there. Okay, eliminate the one here. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, because I had stop, start, and reset. Okay. Next one is the fill valve and the flow meter. That's good. These are all my analog outputs here. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. Everything looks good. So let's save this now. So File, Save As. Now I already have a tank demo here. So I'll go tank demo number 2. Okay, so label it whichever with a name that makes sense to you. You can add a description, right? So I'm using this guy to primarily demonstrate the move function. Okay, and when we save this guy, it's going to save as one of our scenes now. Beautiful. Okay, so everything's set up nicely on our display here. Let's just make sure. E-stop, digital display, auto manual, looks good. Stop, start, reset, fill, drain, 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. Sweet! Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Drivers. Okay, we've already selected our S7 1200. We're going to go over here to Configuration. Okay, I'm using my S7 1200. You have to type in the appropriate IP. So with mine, it's 192.168.0.10. I'm using my Surface Ethernet adapter, and we're going to make use of double words for these guys right here. So we have Boolean inputs and outputs being on and off, but then we have our word input and outputs over here. So double word values. Okay, so once we're done that, then you're good to go back to the driver section here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sequentially put them in order based on the order that I've given you. So if you download the PDF for this guy, I will provide you with the I/O table that I used, and then we'll be on the same page. So if you're trying to duplicate what I'm doing in the next few videos, we'll have the exact same I/O as we go through. Okay, so let's see if we can do this quickly. So we got the E-stop is the first one, so I'm going to drag my E-stop over. So that's input 0.0. Next is my stop push button. So this guy's coming over here, input 0.1. Next one is my start. Okay, so you're just following along with the PDF, or as you watch this video, just grabbing each of your inputs and dragging them over to the image of the PLC here. Input 0.3 is my reset push button, which is this guy right here. Input 0.4 is my fill push button. 0.5 is my drain. Okay, 0.6 is my auto. 0.7 is my manual. Okay, next one is the 0 through 100%. So these are the push buttons on each of those indicator lights. 25, 50. You'll notice that now we're on input 1.0, right? Because we've done 0 through 7 to give us 8 bits here. And now we're on to the next byte here. So input 1.0, input 1.1, input 1.2. 75 is 1.3. And 100% is 1.4. Okay, those are all our discrete inputs that we just need to have a signal setting as 24 volts or 0 volts. Okay, we have two analog inputs. I did not make use of my flow meter, but we might as well bring it in just in case we make use of it later on. You'll notice that as soon as I put that on there, because if we go to configuration, because we were on the double word here, then this guy right here for ID 100 is a real value. If I had kept it, one more time, if I had kept this as a word value, then when we go back, it changes to an integer. Okay, but we need to have the decimal place, so we're going to make sure that we have a double word there. And when we go back, we'll notice that that is gone back to being a real value. Okay, so we have the flow, and more importantly, we're making use of the level meter. So that level meter is going to go to ID 104. Okay, you notice that these guys are I believe 32 bits. We're going from ID 100 to ID 104. Okay, so next one we have, let's see, that's all of our inputs, right? So input 1.4 was my last discrete input. Then I had two analog inputs. Beautiful. Okay, over here for my actuators here, I have my lights for indicating all of my different levels. So 0 through 100. 50, 75, 100. Okay, next output is my reset button. So the light that indicates that my reset is on. Up one, thank you very much. Okay, output Q0.6 is my fill light. Output Q0.7 is my drain light. And then we're into Q1.0. Q1.0 is my start button light. Okay, and my stop button light is right here. Beautiful. Okay, the two analog outputs are the fill valve and the discharge valve. So again, we're going to drop these guys over. First one is 100. There we go. Again, you can see that's a real value. And the discharge valve is going to be QD 104. Sweet. I don't believe I've showed you this, so let me just show you one more time here. If we go back here to our animation and we look at our box here from the side, and I dock these guys, meaning I show my sensor tags. So those are all my discrete inputs, being my stop, start, reset, and auto, manual, emergency stop, fill, drain, and each of the different inputs here. Now, some of these guys have indicator lights that go with them. So if I come here and dock my actuator tags, there's the, hard to see, let's see if we can, there you can just make it out that like the stop push button has a stop button light and the start button has a start button light there. Okay, so when we're looking at our drivers there, then each of those inputs and outputs are seen once we dock those tags. Okay, if it's becoming a little bit too much for you, then you can get rid of them so you have a nice clean image there. All right, guys. So we have set up everything for the animation. We have done our configuration for the drivers. We've done our I/O as well. The last thing is to drop in our PLC program into the PLC, because when I hit connect right now, even though I have my PLC on, when I hit connect, let's see if it works. Usually this does not work. Yeah, see, right? I have to drop in my base PLC program first, and then I'll be able to talk to my factory I/O. So let's pause for 2 seconds. I will drop in my base PLC program, and then we will see a green check mark here, and everything will be ready to go. And we can start programming our TIA portal. Okay, guys, so last thing we need to do is we're going to open up our Siemens TIA portal. We're going to open up our base PLC program for the factory I/O. Once this base PLC program is open for your factory I/O, you're going to resave it. I saved mine. I named it Move Demo with the Tank, Factory I/O. Name it whatever you wish, but keep this guy obviously as your base PLC program for your Factory I/O. Anytime you're using the Siemens TIA portal and the Factory I/O, you have that base program you can always bring up with all your configurations. If you've forgotten how to do all the configurations to allow the Siemens TIA to talk to the Factory I/O, I'll link the video both right here and I'll link it below in the description. So go to the description and I'll have linked the video where I walk you through how to have those guys talk to each other. So I have opened up my my base PLC program from Factory.io. I have resaved it under a different name. All I need to do now is just download it. So I've downloaded my program to the PLC. I can go into my monitor mode. Now, at this point, you're not going to have anything in your program. You just need the base program there with the configurations. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to go back to our Factory.io, because at the moment, I am now talking to my Siemens TIA portal. I have now downloaded that program to my PLC, and now I should be able to have this go to a green check mark. Let's see that right now. So we're going to connect in. Now that we have our program into the PLC, this rotates and this, nice, goes green. Beautiful. Now everything's set up, so now we can start programming. So again, you don't have anything in your program yet. Next video, we're going to start to walk through how to set up this system run to begin with. So system run, turning on either a start light or a stop light, depending on whether the program is working in the background there. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for your patience. Talk to you soon.